Hello, Measurement Man.
Why, hello there.
I would like to ask you a question, if you don't mind.
Not at all.
How is it that you came upon Flat Earth?
I came upon Flat Earth from the Flat Earth fisherman.
Ah. And what convinced you of that the Earth is flat and not moving?
Well, every other time you feel like you're in a car, you're on a plane, you feel yourself moving. So if you're on something that's moving, I'm thinking you have to feel it, number one. And number two is, I work as a instrument man with the surveying crew.
Do tell.
And none of the rotation and or the curvature of the Earth is configured into any of our calculations.
Never, eh?
Best of my knowledge, no.
Have you ever seen any survey anywhere that used anything but horizontal distances to describe any property line, distance between property lines, or offsets?
No, I have not.
Is it your contention that all surveys are measured and drawn using horizontal distances?
It's my belief, yes. Any map that I've ever seen just shows horizontal distance, even on radial lines. The distance are measured from the PT and the PC, which would indicate the radius point based on the curvature of the radius, and those lines are measured with horizontal distance.
So, there's slope distance.
But that's totally different. That's the contour of the land on which we dwell. And all slope distance means is for every 10 feet or 100 feet of distance, whatever the elevation change is your slope. In other words, 10 feet of elevation change in 100 feet of distance is a 10% slope. That does not take into account curvature.
So basically, the slope distance is a change in elevation over a distance, and we measure this distance in order to triangulate the horizontal distance.
That's correct. The horizontal distance is always configured even in a slope. And a lot of times it will be greater than the slope distance or less than the slope distance, depending on if you're going uphill or downhill.
But all distances at the end of the day are horizontal distances.
Yeah, you can't have a slope distance without knowing what the horizontal distance is, period. Because it's all Pythagorean, 90 degrees, and even on slope. If I'm set here, it's going to configure the horizontal distance, even if it's down slope, at 90 degrees to configure the slope distance.
So, that pretty much settles it for me. If every survey of every piece of land on this flat Earth are all done exactly the same, being measured using a horizontal distance, they never take any curvature into consideration, therefore the Earth must be flat.
And motionless.
And motionless. You throw a spin in, then you're getting a little crazy.
Well, here's my point about spin. And I've traveled pretty extensively. Okay, but I'm going to stick to air travel being as it is, because air travel, if you go from New York to California, it's approximately a 5.5 hour flight. Okay, if you're going with the flow of the Earth, why is that time not shortened or greatened?
Well,
depending on which way you're traveling.
Well, science says that the air spins with the ball. Don't you know that?
That's horseshit. That's why it's called inert. All the air around us has inert gases.
Wait a second. Wait a minute. Are you saying you disagree with the boys in the white shirts, the lab coats?
Absolutely. They're the same motherfuckers that tie you up and put you in a straitjacket.
That's right.
Okay? I don't give a fuck what kind of white coat it is. If I want to get finger fucked, I'll go to a fucking whorehouse.
Well, there you have it. Measurement Man is also a flat earth man. He does not believe there is curvature. He proves there is no curvature every single day. A proof that cannot be disputed. I have not seen anyone come up with any survey of any piece of land showing any curvature. When I look at a map of the United States, it has straight lines, 90-degree corners. The earth is flat. And that be that. Good night, everybody. Globeheads, I know you're going to be pissed off because I always tell you that all maps are measured and drawn using horizontal distances, and you get pissed off at me, you call me a liar, but there you have it, UT. I will be interviewing other guys in the same trade and asking them exactly the same questions about if the maps are drawn using horizontal distances.
And one other point, people, okay, and I mean this with all sincerity. If you believe everything you're told by people who tell you from childhood, that's how slaves are made.
That's right. You want to make a slave? Start poisoning his mind when he's young. You want to make somebody nihilistic? Tell them that they're on a ball and nothing matters. Tell them there's no God. But we know there is a God. This is a creation. Jesus loves us all. Even you globeheads. So that's it. Go kick rocks. Suck a dick. See you later, globehead.